So I don't know if this is an attachment, but Lone Wolf says, "Will we keep our individual identity, though?"
I mean, would you want to keep your individual identity? Like, is it does it have a purpose for you?
Mm,
You wouldn't really need it because like a lot of these yogic practices, like Ramayana Maharishi, right? Who am I, right? I am not this
mm,
body. I am not this mind. I am not this car. I am not my bank account. You go through all these kind of shedding of the ego, right? Like none of this defines my soul. So if I merge with the source and I lose my identity, I don't need it, right? I'm willing to lose that.
I
yeah,
think
I like.
like when we are in the human, until and unless we have human body, we will have that thing, right? You can't escape it. When you reach samadhi, you still have that five senses that will trick you,
Yeah,
right?
right. You
But
still
you
got
won't.
to
You don't
eat.
have to get attached to it. You know
Yeah,
it
you don't have to
exists
get it.
there. Yeah, it exists, but you don't have to get manipulated by it, right?
Right. You're kind of detached from it. You're like,
uh,
like I like when Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, your ego's always hiding behind that tree over there. So it's always around, but you're not
hmm,
attached to it. You kind of see the
hmm.
game it plays, like, a good one. I see you. So it doesn't affect you the way it used to because you're kind of detached from it. So
Yeah, but
that what
the ego also comes, Gurudev, when we have this attainment of samadhi, then the
yeah,
ego,
true.
like, because at that moment ego will make you feel that you are superior
True.
to others,
And
right?
if you let it,
Ha ha.
like
uh,
if you don't if you're not attached to it, like you live in an equanimity, it has less of a pull. But yeah, true. You're like, I'm a better yogi than all these other yogis because I've reached the highest state of samadhi, and then that's an
hmm.
ego play that you don't want to be in. So you don't, it's kind of bringing you back down where you don't want to be. So yeah, it's true. If you get in that ego play, you're missing the point of samadhi. So
Hmm.
the point of samadhi is try to shed that ego so you don't it has no use for you anymore.
Hmm.
Want real happiness? It starts within. Begin your Kriya Yoga journey today at freekriyayoga.com. Now let's continue.
Well, this is something that you've experienced.
Yeah, so yeah, you can read it.
um,
Uh,
Actually, there are some Buddhist practices to get in and out of samadhi, like a timer clock, in up to 2 weeks.
Hmm.
Up to two. Yeah,
I
so
guess you could be in samadhi for 2 weeks.
I mean, you could be in samadhi for years
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you have the right prana and you know you're using the shakti from the atmosphere. Um, yeah, so I've experienced this. Like I told a story in the class before where I indirectly fasted for 5 days, and my
Wow.
guru kind of woke me up because I was in samadhi. He was like, wake up, you got to eat or you're gonna die. So like you do kind of forget about time and it has
Hmm.
no meaning. So
Hmm.
you, I would suggest if you have to work to set our alarm clock. Many times I've been late to work because I was in samadhi.
Hmm.
So I would suggest setting an alarm clock, and you don't want to be in samadhi for a week, and like your bills don't get paid or whatever. So keep a nice balance. Maybe set an alarm clock if you go super deep.
Yeah, and then Raman says no food, water, not even excretion for up to 2 weeks. Heart and breath almost absent.
Hmm.
Pretty much. I mean, it can happen. I've seen examples of this. Um,
Yeah, I
yeah,
didn't even think of
but
the
it
bathroom thing. So,
it
like,
It's not really a goal. It just kind of happens. It's like a byproduct of samadhi. So none
Yeah.
of these people are like, I'm going into samadhi for 2 weeks. You just get so deep that time
Hmm.
has no meaning for you.
No
Like,
meaning, yeah. Even
so
your
you just,
organs, yeah, organs cannot understand time. Yeah.
Mm.
yeah. So
So,
I wouldn't recommend it because you'll be in a blissful state in samadhi, but when you come out, you'll have to deal with the physical body and the physical life. So, you know, maybe set some guidelines like 1 day or something, But
yeah.
this is almost a good problem to have. Like, you kind of want to have somebody to like check up on you, right? You don't want to become like a statue, like just in place. Like you go too far in samadhi. I mean, only if you want. If you go into maha samadhi, maybe that's something you want. Like,
Mm.
goodbye cruel world. I'm a
Mm.
statue now.
Yeah. That is like
So
willingly leaving the body, right? Like willingly
right.
they're, yeah.
Yeah, Mahasamadhi, they willingly
Hmm.
leave the body. Like, this day, this time, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
Like people like Yogananda and different people like
Hmm.
that have achieved that
Hmm.
state. Like,
In
I've
India,
seen
there are so
enough.
many saints who do that, and people are not even aware, you know?
Mm.
Like there's thousands of sadhus who does that, and they just, people are not even aware, because sometimes in India, when people dug or dig something, they find these bodies sitting in a position, you know, and you can find all this thing in YouTube. There was a no, I can say he's a teenager from Nepal. He sat in the jungle for like months, and Net
Mm,
Geo, Animal, everyone came and put their cameras, because everyone was curious. Even scientists, you can watch those things in YouTube, you will find everything. Like why he's not eating, why he's not dehydrated, why his body is same, like in 2 weeks he has not been moving anywhere, but he looks the same. You can find that in Nepal. It happened with this guy, I don't know, people call him Little Buddha or something. There is a
mm,
documentary on it. Like people documented him sitting for like months there in a one position, and then suddenly he vanished. Matlab, he just went off, and people were searching, and then after 2 3 months or maybe years, he came back. This
Mm.
guy, he was a child, he was a teenager.
mm. Yeah, I believe it. Like,
Hmm.
when I was in the Himalayan mountain, we would see people all the time. We would go up the
Hmm.
mountain. They would be in
Hmm.
samadhi. Not
Hmm.
touch them. Not
Hmm.
look at them. Like, not
Hmm.
bother them. Because they have a rule in as yogis. When somebody's in samadhi, you don't touch them. Like,
Hmm.
so if my guru wasn't there, I probably would have went too far. Because they have that rule. Like, when somebody's in samadhi, don't touch them. So like, you kind of have to have some guidelines. But yeah, they definitely have that rule. Like, if somebody is in the jungle and they're not eating, leave them be. They're
Hmm.
doing their inner work. And
Hmm.
if they haven't, like, how could I say, decayed, or like their body hasn't, they figured out a way to enhance the prana to kind of nourish them.
Hmm.
So they have these pranayama techniques, these breathing
Hmm.
techniques, which basically take the nourishment out of the elements. So
Exactly.
that sustains them. So
Hmm.
they'll be okay. It's a good pointer. Like, oh, cool. This
Hmm.
guy, little Buddha, was in the forest for 6 months and didn't eat. He's reached that state.
Hmm.
Outstanding.
Hmm.
Want to go deeper? Subscribe, visit freekriyayoga.com, or tap the related video right here.